What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is Saturday, week one, college football. Hope you're all having a great day. We are back and ready to roll here as we face our first big college football Saturday. And look, we have a lot of games to get to. We're going to break them all down here for you. Yes, I said that correctly. We're going to break down every game. I'm going to take a look at every game here. Again, I will not give you picks that I'm betting for every game. I'll give you my opinion for every game, and I'll tell you which ones I'm betting or not, but not going to be betting every game. As we know, I just don't think you'd make a lot of money if you did that. But I welcome you in. I hope you had a great night. I hope you're having a good weekend. There's a chill in the air around here, and it's starting to feel like fall. Another great night last night. Very happy with how things turned out. Things are going well here. On the first two couple videos we've had 4-0. We'll take it. If you've made money on some of the other selections I gave out or whatever, hopefully you did, and you're swimming in cash, as they say. But I am the big man on campus. Thank you for joining me here on an early Saturday. And going forward, I saw that there are other shows on at the same time. Hopefully, I set a difference, and I set apart from some of the others. Here you're going to get every game, great opinions, and So after today, as I've said, and on the bottom, I am moving to Patreon. Okay, I've talked about that on the last couple of videos we've done here. So you're going to get 6 shows a week on Patreon. 6 shows a week. We're going to have 2 college football shows, obviously a preview show, obviously a day of show. We're going to have a Sunday NFL show. We're going to have weekly NFL shows. We're going to have a future show on Tuesday with the NFL. We're going to have Serie A. All that stuff's mixed in. We're going to bring on guests. It's going to be really great. So I urge you, if you enjoy what I'm doing, please check out my Patreon. You can find it in the description below. Keep in mind, it's for the whole month. You get all the shows. It's going to be probably 30-ish shows a month. Make sure you check that out. A couple of comments here, and then we'll jump in. I don't see how he remembers all the players' names, coaches, not just on big schools, but the little ones too. Amazing. Sharp mind, my friend. I don't drink. I don't smoke. The goal for me, and for always, it's been how can I strengthen my mind the most? The Warrior's deadliest thing is his mind. Remember that. It's not about this and about that. It's about how much you can use up here. And that's most important. So as long as you take care of your head, everything will be all right. And all these people out there, they can't take this from me, at the end of the day. Ryan Jacobs, happy to be back listening. Well, happy to have you here. Thanks for checking out. Dexter Rojas, what's happening? Tyler Smith, welcome in. No more free picks starting on Monday. He's going to Patreon only. Well, you must not know me too well. But Craig S., listen, if you feel good about just sitting here every day, taking info from me, look, it's my fucking life, bro. This is my job. This is my thing. Unfortunately, I'm not working anywhere as far as that's concerned. So again, I hate to break it to you, brother, but a lot of people, content is king, man. Time is money, bro. Josh Sanderson, Joe, Chubbs, Howard, Evan, Shy Picks, Double Eagle. What's happening? All right, let's get into this here. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot of games to get into. Don't need to take questions. We're just going to get into the games. We're going to start 12 o'clock, rotation number 155, 156. That's the first game on the board. Western Michigan and Michigan in Ann Arbor. Shout out to my old co-host, Ryan D'Amico. He's at the game today. Went out there with some family to watch the game. So shout out to him. He's going to see a game that, look, I got to tell you, from what I know, Sharp Money is backing the Broncos. And I got to tell you, if I had to play it, I would do the same thing. Western Michigan is not your typical, easy, game out of the gate. This is a tough game for Michigan, especially with a new quarterback, Cade McNamara. Same old coaching staff, though. Did move the coordinators around, but, Harbaugh's still the leader of this team. So I don't get it. I'll never understand it, but that's where we are. I like Ellaby, the quarterback for Western Michigan. This is a guy that really had no problem moving the football against really everybody last year. I think we also have to remember, I don't necessarily think this is and it's not a Don Brown defense anymore because he's gone. It's going to take some growing pains, I think, for Michigan. And again, I think this is a dangerous game coming out of the gate. I do. Look, Michigan's a better team. They have better athletes and they have better players, and they should be able to take care of business quite easily here. But I'm not running to the window to lay, 17 with them. I'm just not. You look at the total. I don't know. I kind of had this game at 35-20 or something. That was kind of where I put it. 66 struck me as a bit high. I think Western Michigan, look, I'm not running to grab them on defense. And look, they should be able to move the ball. It's really can Michigan kind of do enough to just kind of exert their will and be better defensively and, take care of a lower end opponent. But Western Michigan's not your typical. This isn't Kennesaw State or anything. This is a decent team. Gun to my head, lean WMU, but not a game I played. Army, Georgia State. A game that I do have some interest in. I'm starting to kind of have more and more interest in Georgia State. Now, 1.5, that's currently where our number is here in this one. When you look at Army, big question is who's going to be the quarterback of this team? They have 11 quarterbacks on the roster. You heard that right. 11 quarterbacks on the roster. That's crazy. And look, Jeff Monken, terrific coach. We know how good defensive they are. But I'll tell you this. One team that I am very high on this year, and I loved last year, I'm really high this year, is this Georgia State Panther group. This offense, legit. Cornelius Brown, Destin Coates. This team is solid. All offensive linemen back, 2 really good receivers, a good tight end, and Roger Carter. This defense, on the other hand, very good against the run, always do a nice job up front, a good defensive line. They're at home here. I just feel like for me, the difference in this game is going to be the fact that I just think Georgia State's way more dynamic on offense. And look, Army will get theirs. But again, remember, Georgia State gets the triple option right out of the gate, which I like. This team has some experience playing against the triple option, and they had all sorts of time to prepare. I think Georgia State, a pretty good play today. Stanford, K-State. If you've been following me, you know. And if you follow what I do, this should not be a surprise to you. Okay, I don't need to give this one out. I bet this one a while ago at 2.5. If you didn't bet 2.5, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I like that number. That's the number I want to be at. And to be real honest, I put out a video on this. I put out a standalone video on this just to kind of throw that further earlier in the week. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. If you want my full prediction, you can just check the video out. I don't really need to talk about it, though, because I've talked ad nauseum about K-State. Look, would I play it at anything other than 2.5? I'm not really answering that because I don't care much. I think 3.5 is fine. But again, you're off of a key number. I don't want to bet anything above that. This is why it's crucial to be betting the right number. You cannot come into a Saturday card and say, oh, it's 3.5. I'll just play that. This could surely be 27-24. Surely. And we win and you may lose. We're not going to play those games. And I advise you don't play those games either. You can't get into betting these things bad number. Look, could K-State minus 3.5 cover? Sure, it probably will. I have them winning by double digits. But again, I'm not betting bad numbers. Just not doing it. Let me take a look at some of the comments here. Robert Pearson went 3-0 yesterday. Thanks, Steve. Well, thanks, bro. I'm glad to help. If you need picks, pay up. Costs money to make money. Exactly. But remember, this is content. We're putting out content to you. We're bringing on guests. We're putting this stuff on. This stuff is important. You've got to hear it. We have a lot of experience doing this. This is great content. People enjoy it. Again, you can watch these videos over. It's great archive stuff. Universal Luxury, you're looking good, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I've been listening to Jeff since SBR. Talk about a channel that went downhill. Yeah, a lot of new ownership there. Still some good people there, though. Joe Matza, we just talked about that. I definitely lean Georgia State in that one at 1.5. All right, let's keep moving. 161, 162. Kentucky, UL Monroe. I got to tell you, 53.5 struck me a bit at this point high. I thought the opener, and this kind of centered around 54.5, 54. I assumed money would come in on the under, and it is. Money's coming in. People aren't buying Kentucky's offense necessarily right away. We don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be with this Lewis. According to them, they like him. They think he can throw the football, but Kentucky's not always a team that's real dynamic offensively. Look, should they be able to put points up against UL Monroe? Surely. You know what this game reminds me of? 100%. This game reminds me of the game we saw last night that I had in Wake. I took Wake minus 31.5. They won by 32. This is that game to me. I'll be real. I don't know if they score Kentucky, if they score into the 40s, but I kind of had mid to high 30s, 35, 38, 10, something like that. I don't think, and look, I could be honest. UL Monroe, I don't know if they even score that many points. Kentucky is way more dynamic defensively than anyone UL Monroe is really going to play. This game kind of screamed 35-7 to me, probably. That's kind of the realm I put it in. Under 53.5 looks pretty interesting here. I think this is one of those games where if you play it, you kind of just place the bet and you come back later, because there's better games to watch. You don't want to watch games you bet unders in. Not a deal. This is one of those games where I think, like for me, and I'll be really honest with you, you know what I'm going to do at noon? I do this every Saturday. It's a ritual for me. I go to the car wash. I clean my car. I wax my car, and I go out and do errands that I need to do. Because, again, I'm not, I watch football. I get it. But I know enough about these teams already. I don't need to sit here and watch every one of these games. But sometimes it's nice to just go out. I leave my phone at home. I do some things I need to do and come home and, get ready for 3 o'clock, And if you bet this game, it's a perfect idea. I'm sure people clip that. This fucking guy, he doesn't even fucking watch the game. Yeah, you're right. I don't watch every game, I bet. I watch most of them. And look, I watch the games after they happen because I want to see what really went on in the game. And I don't want to sit here and watch bullshit. So I get the condensed highlights and just watch the games after the fact. Now, there are a lot of games I do watch, though. All right, let's keep moving. Penn State, Wisconsin. A lot of neutrals will love this game. Look, Penn State, obviously there's some excitement around the program, new coaching staff as far as the offensive coordinator in there. And people are excited. I don't know about Sean Clifford, though. And that's really the problem. I like most of the rest of their team. I just don't really like Clifford. We'll see if he can take a step forward. Generally a quarterback in the second year, they're either going to take a step forward or they're just going to be the same quarterback. Not ideal to go into Camp Ryan and win. Or not Camp Ryan. What's their home stadium called? I forget. Whatever. Either way, it's not easy. Yeah, I think it is Camp Ryan. It's not easy to go in there or Camp Randall. Sorry, Camp Ryan is Northwestern. Camp Randall. It's not easy to go in there and win. I kind of had this one as Wisconsin, significantly better than Penn State. I think Wisconsin could be the best defense in the country. It's that simple. I love their quarterback Mertz. He's another guy. Can he kind of obviously a weird year last year with the COVID stuff? He's a guy that you expect a lot out of. This offense should be better. Obviously, gamblers believing in Wisconsin, they're taking this one up to 6. Definitely interesting there. Not playing it. Look, I'll tell you right now, if you're a teaser person, which I'm not, if you are, though, this is a very good component. 6 to pick them. I think they win the game. I do. I'm not heady, though, about laying 6 here. Oklahoma and Tulane. This game got moved to Norman, so a home game for Oklahoma as opposed to having to go down to New Orleans to take on Tulane. Look, obviously a lot going on for Tulane. They've been displaced. They've had to practice other places, had to travel when they didn't expect to travel. Look, college kids, all about routine. And when you're playing, to me, 1, 2, 3 best team in the country, you got to have everything go right. Not ideal for Tulane whatsoever. I'm not taking Tulane here. I'd only be playing Oklahoma. Look, I'm really on Oklahoma. I've said before, I think they are the best team in the country, in my opinion. I know other people say Alabama, Clemson, whatever. I think Oklahoma, brass tacks could be the best team in the country. I think they're the best quarterback in the country. And by the way, shout out to me. How many times did I fucking tell you people UNC was a fraud? I tell you time and time again, they lost too much talent. They did. They lose the game outright, which, by the way, we talked about yesterday and said there's no goddamn fucking way I'm laying 6 points on the road with UNC. But Oklahoma, I want to see – this is a wait-and-see game. Not saying they won't win, 51-10, but I just want to make sure – I'm excited about this defense, right? I want to see Spencer in a real game. So I'd probably lean in Oklahoma. I'm not taking Tulane here. Just really tough situation for Tulane in this game. A lot of people watching. How you doing? Thanks for checking me out. Appreciate you all. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the retweet button. If you're on Twitter, hit that retweet button so people know what we're doing here. People love this kind of content. Tyler Smith, I want to hear your take on Iowa State, UNI. We might get to that. Actually, we will get to that because we're doing every Division I game. Temple Rutgers. Obviously, this one moved. It was supposed to be the other night. Moved it to tonight. Look, Temple, I know because I follow Temple basketball. I follow the athletic program. Temple football is not good. I can tell you that now. Tons of transfers left this team on defense. Tons of them. No one likes Rod Carey. I don't know why this team hired Rod Carey. It's a stupid hire. Rod Carey is no good. He doesn't win bowl games. He's just blah. He's a bad hire, and that's what happens to teams that make bad hires. They're not good. They're going to try to start Dwayne Mathis, a quarterback. Dwayne Mathis was at Georgia Tech. This team is, ever since Russo left. By the way, Russo, I know we didn't have to do a whole lot because of Walker last night, but Russo stabilizes your quarterback situation. Temple, don't have Russo anymore. Defense, I think it's going to be really bad. Look, I think a lot of people, though, are going to – I think you wait and see with Rutgers. Look, I love what they're doing. Obviously, Greg Schiano's terrific. Look, you take this team from where they were to where they're going now. I mean, they're in this game. They're heavy two touchdown favorites. It's just not an ideal betting spot to me. They should cover. I mean, Temple sucks. Rutgers shouldn't have any problem getting into the 30s here. Can Temple get into the high teens, 20s, get this game over to total? You would hope. But look, Temple's bad on really all levels. UConn, Holy Cross. Look, UConn's I can keep the football on the ground. Look, UConn's a favorite. I know it's Holy Cross, but I mean, Holy Cross is not, especially against UConn. Holy Cross a live dog in this game. They just are. Both teams want to keep the ball on the ground. I'd probably lean under. Look, the line opened 53. It's down to 51.5. Obviously, smarter people agree, or smart people like me agree. Look, if I look at this game on just out of the gate like I'm doing now, both these teams are going to keep the ball on the ground. Holy Cross, a Patriot League team, they like to run the football. That's what those teams do. Very downhill, very good up front. So I lean under. Kevin Mensah is the best player on the field with UConn. We saw UConn. I mean, do you want to lay 3.5 with them? A lot of people are going to lay 3.5 with them. Who the hell wants to do that? But again, going over every game, that's what we do here. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that. Very kind. Get this like button hit, please. Cameron's alluding to that. Thank you. Julian says under 68.5 with Oklahoma. Yeah, it struck a bit high as well. I hear you. Are you going to have hoodies for football season? We'll see. We'll see about merch. We'll see how good things go. Sam Calmer. How about you? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Good to see you, man. Let's get into the next one. Boston College, Colgate. Another Patriot League matchup here for BC. Not really betting on this one. BC has a great quarterback. I don't really want to fade them. Look, people felt this line was too high, though. They were up towards like a 50-point favorite. Now it's down to 44.5. So you're getting a good number with BC. Shouldn't have. I mean, Colgate probably doesn't score here. Keep in mind, a lot of points, not one I'm playing. Same with Ford in Nebraska. Look, if you want to lay 40+ with Nebraska, probably should be pissed off. I would have to imagine that would be the side I'm looking at here, but no interest. Rice, Arkansas. This is a sneaky one folks. If you like defense, this is a game for you, okay? And I don't know that a couple of years ago I'd have said that because both these teams defensively were dreadful. But Rice, you talk about a team that's really made a step forward. This Rice team is a lot better. Got a good defense. They control the clock. The goal is up front, keep the chains moving, run the football. And look, Barry Odom, hell of a defensive coordinator for Arkansas. They made some good coordinator hires. I think this game is probably a game that Arkansas finds a way to pull away and win comfortably in. But, Rice is tough. The problem here is you're just not getting a real good number. I would love to get a full 3 touchdowns here with Rice. I think the total's kind of right around where I'd put it. Maybe it's a little low because I feel like I have Arkansas kind of mid-30s. For as good as Rice is, Arkansas is still pretty dynamic, but this should be a pretty good game, I got to tell you. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Western Michigan. A team at Arkansas that, you like, but I'm not rolling and running away with them. I don't know about their quarterback situation. I kind of lean Rice a little bit here, but not a game I'm playing. Fresno, Oregon, a lot of people like Fresno. Very trendy dog. But I'll tell you right now, Oregon is very good. They have the best defensive player in the country. They have a quarterback who they're very high on. And look, if they get the quarterback situation figured out, this offense will move. Okay, they have tons of skill position talent. Oregon is Oregon. We know how good they are. I got to tell you, I lean over because I think both these teams are going to score. Fresno, we know it's pass. Hayner's terrific. I think this game's probably like, Oregon goes high 30s. Fresno goes mid to high 20s. 64 probably a little low. And look, the open 61. Okay, so if you were able to snag 62 and a half, you're smart. Okay, you got a great price. It's up to 64. Bad number here. But again, I think it's probably like, I don't know, 41-27, something like that. Air Force against Lafayette. Air Force should roll. Lafayette has no – the play a team like Air Force right out of the gate, not easy. West Virginia, Maryland. I like West Virginia. Neil Brown got a really good defense there. I think they have the better, more dynamic quarterback in Doge. This is now up to 3, so obviously bettors agree. But again, I don't think you're going to make a lot of money betting road favorites. 330. I like Indiana. Okay, I was kind of back and forth in this game. I didn't know with Penix if he was going to play or not. But I think again, you have a simple situation here. Look, I don't love road favorites, but I do kind of like road dogs. And look, with Penix back, I think you have to have some interest here in Indiana. I guess my big question is, and I have 2 questions. Why is this move to 3.5? Because it was 3. Again, I think 3.5 was the move before we knew what Penix's full status was. But again, if you're plugged in and you know enough, the goal probably was that Penix was going to play. It's how healthy is Penix? Do you believe Penix is healthy? If you have a fully healthy Penix, Indiana is a better team. Okay, I think you made the case Indiana is better defensively. Obviously, I like Penix over Petras. But why? It seems like the smart people, I guess, lean on Iowa, and I guess they're believing that maybe Penix isn't going to play. But I have a hard time believing that 3.5. I don't just take Indiana and just say, you know what, whatever happens, happens. I think Indiana is the better team. Kind of how I felt with Michigan State and Iowa, Northwestern. Indiana's a better team here. And now that I know Penix is good to go, I didn't know if he'd be good to go. I'll lean on 3.5, but it seems a little too good to be true, doesn't it? Then again, Iowa's a top 20 team. I'll take this is really simple. I'd take the field goal either way, whoever was getting it. So that's kind of how I look at that one. I think that's the one where you just kind of say, you know what? I think we're getting 3.5 with a better team. Michael DeSola, what's up? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Amsterdam, how you doing? Thanks for checking in. Steve, my man, I know you're kind of hitting, what I'm up doing on all the platforms. So thanks for checking in. I know you listen to the sit down. Thank you. All right, let's keep it moving. 175, 176, Cincinnati, Miami, Ohio. Look, not going against Cincinnati. I think they're so good on both sides. We know they're a top 10 team. Ritter in that offense, terrific. One of the top defense in the country. Look, I like Chuck Martin, good coach, solid coach, always gets them close to a bowl. But this screams like, I don't know, 31-7 or something. I'd probably lean under, to be honest. I think Miami probably could do enough to get some stops. I don't think it's going to be a real dynamic up-tempo type of game, but I think the best play is probably just laying the points here. Marshall, Navy, a lot of people like Marshall. Grant Wells, good quarterback. A lot of people like the coaching hire. I like Doc Holliday. Didn't really understand why you moved on from him. I thought he gave you what you needed there at Marshall. Navy's a mess, just a mess. Again, you're going to have these years with Navy where, they lose a lot. They have to develop again. Great new talent. And look, I got to be honest, this is not a good Navy team. Marshall should kind of dominate them on both ends, and it's not as difficult to play in Annapolis when you have a team like Navy's fielding. So I think Marshall, just the quarterback plays too good. They should be able to handle business here. But a road game, new coach, it's not one that I was huge on. Alabama, Miami, another game I'm not huge on. I lean Alabama, obviously. But the only way I would really look is their team total. I think they'll put up plenty of points. I think, obviously, we know how good, the talent they bring in every year is. I wonder about Miami's defense. I don't know how good it is. Have they taken a step forward? They weren't very good last year defensively. Look, there are portions of that defense I like. Obviously, Bolden is one of them, but I don't love them really for the most part defensively. We know Alabama, they're going to turn it up. We know they're going to be very good offensively. So I would lean towards probably that. But and I know people will be all over watching this game, but I'll be watching other things. I'll have my on Indiana, Iowa, and other games like that. How could you miss UMass Pittsburgh either? Pittsburgh, a huge favorite, and they should be. UMass is, probably the worst team in the country. Or one of the worst teams in the country. They're all really bad, the teams in the bottom five. So whether it's Old Dominion, UMass, Connecticut, New Mexico State. New Mexico State's probably the worst team in the country. I'd probably put UMass second worst, then UConn, and then the others. But yeah, Pittsburgh should roll. They probably should win 48-0. Central Michigan, Missouri. This is an interesting one. A lot of people aren't going to really key in on much here just because, it's kind of a middling program with SEC, a country in Missouri, kind of a team that, maybe people don't know a whole lot about. I kind of had some interest in an over here maybe. I think Missouri probably gets into the 30s, surely. The quarterback, kind of an unproven guy. We don't really know a whole hell of a lot about, and Connor Bazalik. I also kind of think they're probably the move to play. It's up to 14, though. CMU, kind of a middling program. We know what they're trying to build there. Obviously getting better with the right coaching hire. But they're not going to have Kobe Lewis, which is a huge loss. I feel like if you got under 14, you probably got the best price. This kind of feels like, 41, 24 or something like that. La Tech, Mississippi State. La Tech, always a plucky team. Look, they're above 21. Skip Holt's a great coach, always has good programs down there. Mississippi State. Not a team I'm really running to lay a big price with, and neither is a lot of the betting public. This one opened 26.5, down to 23. People aren't really trusting it. Obviously, people grabbed above that 24 number and got a pretty good price. So, I'm never going to really fade La Tech getting those types of points. Again, at the end of the show, I'll tell you what I personally bet. And again, most of these games, I'm not. The only one that I personally bet so far, obviously, is K-State. I played the 2.5 there a while ago. And I did take Georgia State minus the 1.5. Montana State, Wyoming. Look, obviously Wyoming, a lot of people like this team in the Mountain West this year. It is a tough conference, though, and a lot of people are going to have a say in that out there. But Wyoming, tough team, well coached under Craig Bowl. They should be able to kind of exert their will. Look, numbers going up. makes sense. Wyoming should win comfortably. Louisiana Lafayette against Texas. How about this one? Problem is, the whole world believes in Louisiana Lafayette. And that's where this game is kind of become unbettable to me. Look at 10, 11, maybe higher. You're saying, okay, I'll take a shot with Lafayette. We obviously know Levi Lewis. Keep in mind, though, they lose their two top running backs from last year. There's a lot of question marks about Texas. Are they the same Texas team as usual? The problem they have this year is Sam Ehlinger walking through the door. You got a brand new quarterback. You got a brand new coach. And it's either going to work or it's either not going to work. I find this one interesting, though. Early money, at least from what I'm seeing, is kind of going against what a lot of people think and saying that Lafayette's live under. I think they are, though. Lafayette's really good. I think a lot of people assume they're just going to come in and kind of keep this within a touchdown. And that's a fair thing, but I need a better number than I'm getting. 8.5, it's almost too low at this point. So, lean Lafayette, but I think it kind of has become a trendy way of thinking. And, I just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Iowa State, Northern Iowa. Okay. Obviously, Northern Iowa wasn't a vintage Northern Iowa team last year, but it was a weird year. I don't really care much about that. Good defense. Not going to be real flashy offensively. Northern Iowa, that's kind of what they are. Their basketball program's the same way. They're boring. They like to run the ball, and they have a good defense, which is kind of like how their basketball team is. They're not real flashy, but they get it done. Now, the question is, can that offense move the ball against Iowa State? On both sides of the ball, Iowa State is very good. The quarterback is just on another level than anything Iowa State or anything Northern Iowa can possess. Breece Hall is one of the best running backs in the country. I don't 31.5 is high, though. Northern Iowa is a pretty decent team. But yeah, Iowa State's kind of on another level. San Jose State, USC. Another game where I think this kind of fits kind of like that Minnesota-Ohio State game. If you're getting above 2 touchdowns, I think there's some interest. 15, 16. But if it gets to 14, 13.5, then it's all of a sudden where there's not a ton of value. San Jose State's really good, though. Good defense, very stout. They're not going to be scared about this game. They're going to be excited about this one. They've got a great quarterback. Derek D is a terrific tight end. There's a lot to like about San Jose. Plus, it's a second week. You got a game under your belt. You already beat a team handily. Now you step up. It's that little brother, big brother matchup that you talk about. This is a dangerous game if you're USC. A dangerous game. I need 2 touchdowns full, though. I need 15. I'm not interested in 13 and 14. I just, because I think this game surely could be, 38-24, something like that. I want that full 15. I want 2 touchdowns. Keep in mind, San Jose State, very good. This is a good football team. I think it's a big barometer game for them. This is a game where if you're Brett Brennan, you want to see where your program is. You can compete in the Mountain West. Can you compete with a glitzy, glammy, top-level quarterback with good skill position players? I like San Jose State. I think this is a good football team. I'm really interested in seeing how this team turns out all season. I'll tell you this. I haven't been able to get a line on this game yet, at least at the books that I bet. I'm sure it'll come out. I see that Liberty, 33.5-point favorites. Liberty should cruise. Liberty is really, really, really good. Really good. Malik Willis is the best quarterback you don't know about. And they should be able to do whatever they want against the Campbell Camels. So if you can find a line on that, I would have some interest there. Hey, Michael, you don't have to ask questions. We're getting every game, brother. That's why we don't have a ton of comments in here, because people are just, I think, sitting back and listening. Oregon State, Purdue. If you've listened to Pick Central, I was on Pick Central a couple of different times. I played Purdue. I played 6.5. I played this a while ago as well. I like Purdue. I'm pretty high on this team, and I'm pretty low on Oregon State. And that's really the play here. Oregon State comes in without Jamar Jefferson. He moved on to the next level. And if you know anything about them, he was really big in what they did. I mean, he was a bell cow player for them. He was kind of a legend, frankly, at Oregon State. You lose a player to that caliber, and you really have to wonder what you're left with. They lost some talent on defense, and I don't really trust the quarterback position. Tristan Gebbia, I don't know if he really won that job. I think he's just the guy just because he has to be the guy, and he's a little bit better than anyone else they have. Couple that with the fact you have to be on the road here in a Big Ten atmosphere with, I think, a football team that's going to be pretty tough this year. You know, no one's really talking about Purdue, but Jeff Brom's a hell of a coach. He does wonders with quarterbacks, and I'm pretty excited about this Austin Burton. I've heard a lot about him. He played at UCLA. Actually played against Oregon State in 2019. Actually looked pretty good. But from what I hear, he is a totally different player. They have this kid Bell coming back, the heir apparent to Rondale Moore. Defensively, I think they take a pretty good step forward. From what I understand, they're pretty tough. Brad Lambert, the defensive coordinator there, he necessarily wasn't a good head coach, but I think he's a damn good defensive coordinator. And at 6.5, I think Purdue's a pretty solid play today. I think this one's hanging kind of randomly out there, but I think Purdue gets the job done, wins by double digits. Texas Tech, Houston. You know, I'm not really understanding this number. I think a lot of people, though, are interested, though. You have a new quarterback here with Tyler Show down at Texas Tech. You know, Eric Ewan Kuma, the receiver, terrific. I think you look at this game and you say to yourself, this is probably first to 35 wins, right? That would be kind of my thought with it. You know, obviously, I think this is kind of what people thought Boise State, Central Florida would be. You obviously had the problem where Boise State just stopped scoring for like a quarter. This game screams points, though. I think you have two dynamic quarterbacks and two dynamic offenses. You're on turf. I believe this game is in Dallas or Houston, one of those. Yeah, it's in Houston, Energy Stadium. So, 64.5 seemed a bit low, but this number's been bet down. I mean, it was a lot higher. So people are coming in thinking the defense are going to come to play. People are asking who wins. I think Houston gets the job done here. I would lean on betting Houston here. Baylor, Texas State. Another in-state matchup. Baylor, not great. Heading on the road, laying over 2 touchdowns. Don't sleep on Jake Spavital. He's building something down in San Marcos. Rowdy place. I've been to that. I've been to San Marcos. If you can believe that. I was actually I was in San Antonio. I traveled into Austin. If you go to Texas, between Austin and San Antonio is San Marcos. And I remember I went through it and someone says, we're in San Marcos. I said, oh, Texas State. I said, wow, this place is a shithole. Not a shithole. It's not a shithole. It's just, I don't know. It's just a nothing burger town. That's all. A lot of Texacos in Texas, which isn't surprising. I don't want to lay double digits with Baylor, to be real honest. Syracuse and Ohio, man, wow, has Syracuse fallen. They're basically in a pick'em situation at Ohio. That just kind of goes to show you where the Syracuse program is. It has been a mess. There were times last year where Tommy DeVito just looked horrific. Does Garrett Schrader have a better chance? Again, 2 quarterbacks that I think could get there. I mean, they have pretty solid, quarterback. I just saw Tommy DeVito at times really struggle. Ohio, kind of interesting here. Frank Solich moves on. New head coach, Tim Albin. Look, I'll tell you right now, whether it's Rourke or Armani Rogers, this offense is going to be really good. I got to be honest. I lean home team, but I think Syracuse will be better than people think, but I don't want to bet them. I just think they're just average, and I think Ohio is one of the better MAC teams. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a coin flippy game. Don't really have much about it. Kyle Weir, will you be posting your picks on Twitter? No, I'll be posting them here at the end, like I did yesterday. But again, Kyle, this is really not. These are my picks and go play them. I'm just trying to give you my opinion on each game. I'm telling you what I personally bet. What you want to bet is your business. But no, why would I do that? I'm doing a show here. I want people to watch this. What are your thoughts on home field? And look, Kyle, not for nothing, I put a couple picks already on Twitter. Kansas State, you snooze, you lose, brother. Sorry. What are your thoughts on home field advantage of fans being back? It's big. We saw it last night with Virginia Tech. I'm just not really running to lay points on the road with any team. Akron, Auburn. Akron, one of the worst teams in the country. But look, new coach for Auburn. I don't love Bo Nix, but he should carve up Akron. Toledo, Norfolk State, another game. Toledo this should probably be 55-7. I mean, Toledo should roll. Memphis and Nicholls. Look, don't sleep on Nicholls. Nicholls State is a good football team. They're a top 20 FCS team. I'm going to tell you that right now. Memphis, this is not a vintage Memphis team. I'll tell you that now. Paxton Lynch ain't walking to the door, okay? They moved on with coaching. This is a different type of team. Nicholls is solid, folks. Let me say it again. Nicholls is solid, folks. 23.5, a lot of points to give to a pretty damn good football team. Nicholls is a type of team that make a playoff every year in the FCS. Missouri State, Oklahoma State. Obviously, a lot of people high on Okie State. A lot of reason to like this group. We have to remember last year, okay, this team had some injuries. I know Spencer Sanders at times was injured. But remember, lose Kylan Wallace to the NFL. But look, Oklahoma State has never problems with getting more talent. Lose Chuba Hubbard. There's some guys to replace here. But the good thing is, Sanders is back. He seems to be healthy, and he seems to be able to take the next step. They're always going to have good transfers. They welcome in Tay Martin, who was at Washington State under the Leach group. He transfers. Brennan Presley, a guy that they really like from the recruiting standpoint. So, defensively, they're always, I think, pretty good. I don't think they get enough credit defensively a lot of the time with Gundy. This is a fringe top 25 team and shouldn't have any trouble with Missouri State here. What else do we have? I'm going to kind of skip a couple of these games. The only one that I would really have interest, SMU, Abilene Christian, kind of an interesting game. I'm very high on SMU's offense this year. I've said that time and time again. I think if you bet every team total with SMU, you would win money. It's that fucking simple. SMU is a very dynamic offense. And I know people are going to say, what do you think of Mordecai in this offense? I think it works like peanut butter and jelly. Perfect. Throw him in. Better offense, at least for him to work into. Good skill position players. They have some of the best receivers in the country. Reggie Roberson, top player. They welcome in Calcaterra, who was at Oklahoma with Mordecai. This offense, I think you just team total every week. I don't want to worry about the defense. But SMU's team total, now we're talking. You know what? I'm going to pause this because we have plenty of time. We might be on for more than an hour today, and I couldn't give a fuck. I want to see what the team total is for SMU because I'm guessing it's going to be over probably 48, 50 probably. Books aren't stupid. They know how SMU is as well. Fuck me. Where the fuck is SMU? FanDuel just puts all these fucking games into one. They don't even have SMU. It's weird. Oh, here we go. 65.5. So it's going to be, but 40.5. All right. We might have something here, folks. I was hoping it would be under 50, and it is. Abilene Christian, good athletic program over the years. Not terrible. But here's kind of what you need to – here's what you can expect, okay? Abilene Christian, just to put this in perspective, last year, okay, they played Virginia. Okay, Virginia. Okay, not Virginia Tech, not NC State, not, a better Virginia, a team that was 4-4 last year. Okay, lost 55-15. Now they're playing SMU. And Virginia is not a dynamic. Keep in mind, Brendan Armstrong threw for almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I guess the only question is, do you trust Mordecai? I feel like I do. Thanks, Chubbs. Take it easy. Hope you have a good one. Appreciate it. Have a safe flight, man. Take her easy. All right. So, yeah, SMU, kind of interesting. UTSA, Illinois. A lot of people like the Roadrunners here, and I think they should. Roadrunners are good. This quarterback is dynamic. Good defense, should be a team that contend in the Conference USA. Illinois feeling themselves a little bit. Okay, I don't know if they were as good as it leads on. Is Peters completely healthy? Illinois, I just thought, played against a team that just wasn't any good last week. I don't know how good Illinois is. This is going to be a dogfight. Lean Roadrunners for sure. Florida Atlantic, Florida. Another game I want to wait and see on. Is Emory Jones dynamic enough? Probably against Florida Atlantic, but I don't know if he is long-term. Northern Illinois, Georgia Tech. If you've listened to Pick Central, which most of you have, I recommended Georgia Tech as well. I played 17. This one's up to 18 and a half. Therefore, look, 17 is an important number, okay? If I fall on 17, it is what it is. I think Northern Illinois sucks, okay? I don't like Rocky Lombardi. This defense sucks. I don't think they have much talent. I think they're a bottom 15 team in college football. Georgia Tech, I'm excited about. I like a third-year coach in Jeff Collins. I think Jeff Mathis showed me something last year. 25 runs of 10 yards or more for Jeff Mathis. This guy is a legit quarterback. I like what we have here. I think they use and exert their will. I think they pull away and win by 3 touchdowns. I like Georgia Tech. I played that one earlier. Again, I'm playing and telling you what lines I got. Going forward, this will be a situation where we will bet, kind of what we're doing. But again, we know how first week is. There's lines out for a while. So Georgia Clemson. A lot of people wonder about this game. I don't think it has any betting value personally. I think a lot of people just bet this game because it's on TV and they want to be involved. You don't make money doing it that way. And if people are telling you, well, look, I'm not going to bet this just to bet it. I know a lot of goofy people out there that have college football shows. They'll tell you how important this game is. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about, do I make money? Can I make money? Would I lean Georgia? Probably. I would lean whoever's getting points. I like Georgia's defense. I love JT Daniels. But look, Clemson's damn good too. Why the hell are you going to gnaw at your fucking head and try to decide who you want to pick here? What fucking sense does this make? Just watch the game. You don't need to wager on it. There's no value here. Both teams are great. Let's value the fact that they're both great. Do you want a coin flip? I don't coin flip. I don't want a coin flip. I don't know if there's much of an edge here. Gun to my head, lean Georgia. But Clemson, I damn respect that team too. I have JT Daniels as to win the Heisman, so I'm kind of rooting on that he has a big game. Because Sam Howell took a real shit last night. So if Mr. Daniels plays well tonight, maybe Oklahoma has a quarter where they don't play too well, Daniels can move up. So I'm rooting on Daniels. North Texas, Northwestern State. Again, another program not to sleep on, Northwestern State. This is not a vintage North Texas team either. Virginia, William and Mary, not much there. Southern Miss, South Alabama. How about that for a good old Southern showdown? South Alabama and Southern Miss. South Alabama's taken some steps forward. They deserve to be a home favorite, and they are. Not much on this. I think it's kind of a coin flippy game, judging by the number. It is. Kent State, Texas A&M. I believe Texas A&M is rated a bit high. Just saying. But I'll tell you this one was 28.5. It's moving up to 29. Public coming in, betting Texas A&M. I'm not so sure. A lot of points. Dusty Crum and Kent State. This is one of the best offenses in the country last year. A lot of people don't know that. So, 29. Let's just say this. Gun to my head, I'm taking the Golden Flashes. Okay, I like Dustin Crum. I think he's a good quarterback. But A&M, they are very good. TCU, Duquesne. Just saying, Duquesne's not terrible, and TCU's good, but, do I want to lay this kind of number? I don't know. I mean, Guys, again, there's a lot of these games this week. The golf and talent is what I'll do at the end. Here's what I'll do at the end. I'll give the plays that I bet, and then I'll give you the money line dog likely to win, and I'll give you the big favorite that is likely to win. And maybe I can steer you in. But we had a comment yesterday that says he doesn't lay above 14, which is a crazy thing to say. But again, these games, you're not going to make a lot of money betting on the dog. LSU, UCLA. LSU is now down to 1.5, which is, again, if you liked LSU, now's the time. And again, I got to be honest, like I said before, I lean LSU. I think the whole world is going to bet UCLA because of what we saw in week 1. But here's the coach you want to have in this kind of situation? Ed Orgeron. Is there a fucking rah-rah guy better than him? Come on, we got to go out to big, star in LA. We got a big, great team this year. We have Hurricane, but we're ready to go. That's what we're going to get to this week. He's going to get this team fired up. You're playing for the state of Louisiana. We're playing for the Bayou, King Country, baby. That's what we're doing. We're playing for that group, right? I like Max Johnson. I'll say this. I think that at UCLA, we see a lot of people, okay, week 1 or week 0. Oh, my God, they were great. Okay, again, remember, Hawaii's not as good as people think they are. They're dreadful on the road. They don't know what they're doing on offense. So the fact that you beat that group by that much, who cares? This is a real game, okay? And I know people will use the, hurricane stuff. But again, this is SEC country, people. Like, I know people will overreact to that means a lot. It doesn't really, okay? These are kids that have dealt with this kind of stuff before. Okay, they're the best of the best athletes. These are 4 or 5-star recruits. And Orgeron is a rah-rah guy. All week, it's all about the team, baby. Go Target. That's what this is. So at this price, I just play LSU money line. I think they win. Jeremy DeLeon, Nadu tells it straight. Listen and learn. Thank you, bro. I like this guy. I like this guy's attitude. Just got here. Shout out to you, Arnold. Arnold Ziffel. Who's that babe in your picture? That little pig? Shout out to you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you stumbled across the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Make sure you subscribe, folks. If you're new here, please subscribe. This channel got a lot coming here in the future. Canes Nation. Good stuff. Keep up the great work. Kind of superior. Appreciate that, Canes Nation. You're the man. That means a lot. Thank you for checking in. DTR looked horrible against Hawaii. Yeah, again, I think a lot of people rate that like, oh my God, UCLA. I mean, Hawaii's not good. Okay? Just saying. By the way, another thing, we're going to talk about this when we get to the Hawaii game. I want to tell you something about Hawaii. Bethune-Cookman, UTEP. UTEP should win going away. I think UTEP is pretty decent. They should beat up a bad opponent here. BYU, Arizona. Obviously, BYU makes the step from Zach Wilson to, I guess it will be Baylor Romney, probably the quarterback. By the way, no relation to Mitt Romney, weird enough. I feel like every Romney was related, but I think Romney's the quarterback. Arizona is god-awful. So, take that for what it's worth. But BYU has some things that they need to obviously get focused on. They should still be very good. It's not the Zach Wilson team, but this is a good football team. Arizona sucks. Nevada, Cal. I'll say this again. I'm always a fan of Cal. I actually like Garbers a lot. Their coach is terrific. They're a great defensive team. I think they're going to have something for Carson Strong. There's a reason they're a favorite in this game. Nevada's good, and I think they're kind of a live team here, but Cal, I've seen them shut down some really good quarterbacks over the years. First game out of the gate, they've got plenty of time to prepare for Strong. I lean Cal here. I think they win like 27-17, something like that. I think this is a really decent team in Cal. And they have a pretty good offense now. They just fly around. San Diego State, New Mexico State. I I think this is a shutout alert. New Mexico State's team total is 8.5. San Diego State, I think, shuts them out. New Mexico State is the worst team in the country. This one could be 31-0. Like that. I think the question is, like, do you trust San Diego State to score 31 points or more? That's what you have to worry about here. And to feel comfortable betting 31, you need like 40 from San Diego State. But again, here's the thing. I'm not going to dumb down the audience. Okay. When someone says to me, what do you think about that game? Well, it's like, well, look, I'm not betting New Mexico State, but do I have some reservations? Yeah, because San Diego State could surely win this game 30-0. And that's perfectly fine for them. They don't care about covering the number. If they win 27-0, you pitched a shutout, you won by almost 4 touchdowns. That's just as good as winning 34-0. So again, do you have the motivation if you're San Diego State to win this game, 45-3? That's what they should do, but I don't know if you're going to always. That's why for me, if I like this game, I'm probably just going to say I'll beg New Mexico State to win by to score 10 or more, which I don't think they're going to do. So I lean under 8.5 team total. Utah State, Washington State. Obviously, Utah State in a rebuild mode. They're not very good. I like Jaden DeLora. I don't know what his status is, though. He had some off-the-field problems. I think he got arrested for DUI or something. We'll see if the coach, Nick Rolovich, wants to be a fucking, you're going to shit out. I don't want to be the guy that gets beat on that. So, obviously, if you're in Pullman and I'll look up this info. It's not till 11 p.m. I'll probably have some interest here. Where I go, we'll never know. We'll see. The late game I like. I do kind of like Cal a little bit. All right, final game. Hawaii. Okay, I want to talk about Hawaii. Okay, because a lot of people are going to zero in on this game and say, it's Hawaii, it's midnight, I got to fucking bet it. Because I'm a fucking degenerate, and even though I'm going to bed, I got to wake up and see if I won. That's what the confidence is every year with Hawaii. But here's how stupid people are. This is the biggest myth in college football. The biggest fucking myth. Okay, I'm going to tell you what that is. The myth is, and we heard it last week, and it is valid, Hawaii is a bad road team. They suck, okay? They're one of the worst teams in the country against the spread over the last 5 years on the road. But here's something you didn't fucking know, and I'm going to fucking tell you. You know the biggest myth in college football? Hawaii is so good at home. No, they aren't. In fact, they're dreadful at home against the spread. Over the last 5 years, Hawaii is dead last in America against the spread at home. Dead fucking last. They've covered 29% of the time. So if you hear somebody say that, you know what? They don't fucking know college football gambling. There's a difference in this business. There's people that know how to gamble and know about college football, and there's people that know about top 25 or top 30 in college football, which is most of the people in this space. All the people that have their own shows on networks, they don't know lots about football. They don't know shit. They know about the top 25. They couldn't tell you shit about UL Lafayette or Toledo or fucking Hawaii. They don't know anything. It's that simple. I give it to you fucking real here. Okay. Most of these people that have jobs, you know why they have jobs? Because they look a certain way, or they're buttoned up and they act cool. Look, I'm fun. I have a good time with things. I have my opinion. I look a certain way, and I'll never get hired because I say fuck too much. But at the end of the day, if someone tells you that Hawaii is a great team because they get it done at home, they don't get it done at home. They're one of the worst teams in the country against the spread over the last 5 seasons. And again, those were better teams. So take that for what it is. Do I think Portland State's going to be the team to throw it in? No. Okay, good. Look, let's remember this. They aren't 0% against the spread. They do cover occasionally. But I'm just going to tell you that. That's info to stock into your head. Okay, that's what I do. I give you info that you didn't know, that you don't have you have too much of a life to go look up, which I do. I go look that up. My life consists of personal pleasures, reading and looking up nonsense like that and watching mob stuff and that kind of thing. Listen, I have a goal, man. I have an end game for all this shit, and it's just about building to that. 8 more years, baby. I get 8 more years until I'm out. And then, if it all works, we're just going to do this from somewhere else. Somewhere a lot nicer. That's my goal. That's my 8-year goal. That's the info you show up for. Nobody's giving you that stat. Fuck yeah, Howard. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. My man. Nick Goshkai. What's up, my sheepe? What's up, Nick? What's happening? Sheepdar in the building. Got my flag right here. So, yeah, at the end of the day, before we go today, the big question is, what are we on? But before we get to that, I want to pose a question to all of you in here. We got a lot of people in here. And this is the question as we pose into another football year. It's not about football. It's where do you see yourself in 8 years, 10 years? Because I think you have to always think about that. I have an end game for all this. I know where I'll be. Where will you be? What do you have going on? I'm sure most will have a family, kids, normal life. It's not really my thing. Speaking of bomb shit, have you seen that Netflix crime documentary about Jimmy Galante? I don't know who Jimmy Galante is. Never heard of him. If you're asking, does he have anything to do with Carmine Galante? Not that I know of, but I could be wrong. But he didn't have any brothers, Carmine Galante, named Jimmy. So I'll have to look that up. I haven't seen that, no. Jeremy says, retired from hard work, hosting a show. Okay, good stuff. I like that. Retired from the Army, smoking weed on a ranch, watching sports. There you go. You know what I envision? This is what will happen. And remember in 2029, I told you all this. You know what my end game is? Moving to Italy. I'm going to stay single the whole time. And, find my Apollonia over there, Maybe have a kid. How old will I be? I'll be 40, probably have a kid by like 45, live in Italy, do what I do. I can do this anywhere. Watch football, and I mean soccer, drink espresso, I'm actually learning Italian. I've been told a lot of people that, but I'm being taught Italian. I actually know a lot of Italian already because I worked in a pizzeria for years. And I know a lot of Italian already, but I want to become kind of a master at it. So I'm learning Italian actually, but all this is for that. So I'm out of here. Got the towns picked out and everything. So yeah, time zones will be fine. 5 hours ahead. We'll be fine. The show with Flash and Jeff was great. Well, listen, if I can get in touch with Flash and he wants to come on, I would love to do that. We'll do a soccer show maybe. I had probably had some interest in reaching out to him anyway. Arnold Ziffel says, in 10 years, I'll probably be expired. Well, that sucks. I hate to hear that. All right, let's get to what I'm on today. If you followed me, I'm on K-State. I laid the 2.5 there. I'm on Georgia Tech -17, and I'm on Purdue -6.5. I played those already, as I've talked about for weeks. Couple others that I've leaned on. I definitely lean Georgia State -1.5. I think that's a good one. A couple people ask, what's the big dog that has a shot to win today? Well, I'll tell you this. The big favorite that's going to cover is, I think, SMU. I think they probably pulverize Abilene Christian. Who's a big dog that has a shot to win? Well, I think a lot of people will say it's UL Lafayette, but I don't know. I'm starting to bring one back a little bit on that. I want to find a good one. What's a good dog that can win? Let me ask. Would anyone be that surprised if San Jose beats USC? I guess it would be surprising, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't be, wow, man, I can't believe that happened. I don't think there's a lot of great ones, to be honest. Generally week 1, it's not rife with upsets. By the way, Clemson's down at 2.5. How about that? You got like 120 though. I don't know. There's not a lot of good ones here, to be honest. I don't know. By the way, a lot of people ask me what I'm on tomorrow. I'm already on Ole Miss. Okay. I've been on that at 8.5 forever. Liberty. That's right. I forgot about that one. I don't have a line on that. I think it was like 33. But I don't have it bettable at my book so far. Baseball Bob says Texas State +14. How about that? Yeah, UTSA. That's a good one. By the way, a lot of people are going to ask, going forward, not going to have a show tomorrow. Going forward next week, we're on Patreon. This show, all the other shows that I do, all the content that I put out going forward will be on Patreon. The link to join Patreon is in the description below. You'll see an add Patreon link. I urge you, come say hello. Come get involved. I think you'll enjoy what I'm doing. I have to, obviously earn something out of this, and I'm going to bring on some great people. People mention Flash. People mention Donnie Wrights. People mention all these different people. To get those guys on, they all are in the content business themselves. Time is money. I got to pay them. When they came on with Pickswise, we paid them. Spread a stare, all those guys. We paid those guys. I'll get the best people on. People that know what they're doing, and they align with what I'm doing, but I can't get them on for free. Time is money. And you know what the going rate to pay people is? It's not $20 an hour. Okay. You got to pay people good amounts because they can just get it from somewhere else. And these are friends of mine. And I want to be able to say, hey, here's money for coming on. So, please get involved. Check out the Patreon, the link below. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter. Other than that, I broke down every game. We had fun doing it, and we did it in less than an hour. I know it'll say 11:06, but we had a lot of small talk. So thanks for watching. I'm excited. I'm 4-0 this week. I'm 4-1 on the season. And yeah, I know I'm 4-1. I know I'm probably better than that because I put a lot of picks out on week 0 that I didn't really have a show to do, but it is what it is. The one I put out was Nebraska. That was my only loss so far. Thank you, Steven. Yeah, check out Patreon. Josh, thank you. Appreciate that. A lot of people ask why I ever do any free shows. Of course, probably. I look at all the content I just did for free. There's no one that's given out more free content over the years than me. I've been doing this for fucking decades. Over a decade. Most of that shit was free. So remember that. I've been here a long fucking time. People said, I've been listening to you since SBR. I know. I'm still here. How many fucking shit, how many things that I've given you over the years? That's why we got to love these people. This guy doesn't win. Motherfucker, I guarantee over the years, I've given out some great fucking tips to a lot of fucking people. People have learned shit from me. I don't just come on here and say, hey, I like this game, I like this game, I like this game. I tell you why. I tell you shit you didn't know. So soccer will be back too as well. We got Serie A back next week. So yeah. Check me out. I'll see you guys next time, probably next week. What we're going to do next week is next Tuesday, I think, or Monday. I got to figure out what day. Probably Tuesday. We're going to do an NFL Futures show. Going to see if we can get Donnie Wrights to come on. NFL's coming. We'll kind of lay out what futures we're on, that kind of stuff going forward. That'll be a show you want to tune in on. We'll take your questions. You want to be there for that. And that'll be on Patreon. So go come check us out. Link below to join. Have a great day. Enjoy football. Good luck.